All right, everybody, so today I thought I'd show you how to make breaded chicken. So what we're going to do is I'm going to first start to preheat the oven. I'm going to make it at 375. So I hit the bake button, I move it up to 375, and I hit start, all right? There never should be anything in here. I'm actually going to move this rack to the middle. Okay, and now we're ready to go. So remember, before we start anything, you want to make sure that you do your hands, right? Washing the hands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right? Good. So I've started some of this already. So what we're going to do is what's called a 3-station breading. So obviously we have most of the chicken in here. I have some flour. We're going to have an egg wash, and we're going to have some breadcrumbs. 1, 2, 3. And then I'll put it into a pan, which I've already added a light layer of olive oil to keep it from sticking. Okay? So I have chicken breast. Now this one here, as you can see, is pretty thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half, and I just carefully use the serrated knife, right? The one with the teeth, and let the teeth do the work, and just go right down the middle. And now you have 2 equal pieces. I'm going to put this in here, and after you touch chicken, you want to make sure once again that you wash your hands, okay? Good. And we've already killed the germs from the last time, 6. All right, but we still want to make sure that we wash for a good amount of time here, right? 12. And get in between, okay? And then rinse off, okay? Now, I know I'm just touching the chicken again eventually, but I want to get all the stations ready. So I'm going to be touching these containers, and you don't want the chicken juice on these containers. Now, flour is just basic, so what I do is I add a little flavoring. You can add what you want, but I add some garlic, and I'm going to add paprika. Just add a slight kick to it, all right? And the breadcrumbs are seasoned already, okay? Good. And all that'll do is just add yet another layer of flavor to this, okay? Good. So now we have the seasoned flour, we have the seasoned breadcrumbs, and now I'm going to get the egg wash ready. I'm going to put a couple of eggs in here. Good. All right. I'm just going to rinse this off quickly. And now I'm going to add some milk. I'm going to add, give or take, about a half a cup to a cup of milk, okay? For scrambled eggs, you only need to add a little bit, but this is called an egg wash. And I'm going to make sure this is set. So I'm going to quickly mix it up, as you can see. And the same thing, if you want to add some flavor to this, you know, I can add a little bit of pepper. And I can add some paprika if I wanted as well. Once again, it'll just add another flavor, but I'll just add the pepper now to do that. Okay? And now, what we're going to do is in 3 steps. So I'm going to get the flour on each piece. I'm going to put in the egg wash, put this on the breadcrumbs. I'm going to open this up just in case I need some more, and then I will put it in here. I'm going to put the milk away because I'm done with it.
Don't drop it.
I'm going to put the eggs away because I'm done with them. These are called perishable items, right? Things that need to be kept in the refrigerator. If they don't, they'll go bad. All right? So, what I'm doing now is just quickly, and this is a little messy of a job. All right, you'll start getting it on your fingers, but that's okay. And I'll get this situated, and now it's on the egg wash. And now it's in the breadcrumbs. What I want to do is make sure that each part is covered. Okay? Good. And good. And then I'm going to go far, right? And I should be able to fit 4 of them in here. So let me show you again. Cover with flour. Good. Get the excess off. Get it in the egg wash for a little bit. Good. Bring it over. And now I can cover it with the breadcrumbs. There we go. And we got number 2 right there. We can do 2 more in here. Like I said, I cut the other ones earlier. There's the flour. Into the egg wash. Good. Yeah. And that one's done. Okay. And then finally one more. You see how they're all basically the same size? That's what you want. Okay? If they're the same size, they'll cook at about the same time. If you have one really big one and one really small one, then they'll cook at different times, and that's not what you want. So if you end up messing up on the cutting part that I did earlier, you can cut it again into thirds just to make sure everything is even size. So everything cooks at the same time. All right? The bigger issue is the thickness of it, not the length of it. As long as the thickness is about the same size, then it'll cook evenly. Okay? So good. And you see I have a full one. So once again, I'm going to quickly, well not quickly, I'm going to wash my hands. Whenever you touch chicken, anytime you go to touch something else, you want to make sure that you wash your hands thoroughly. If you don't, you can get what's called salmonella, which is raw chicken. If you end up ingesting it, putting it in your mouth, okay, it ends up getting you sick. And obviously we don't want that to happen, okay? I'm going to kind of move this around here. Good. All right, so let's go over it one more time. So we got the chicken, we cut them into equal pieces. We got the flour, I seasoned it with the garlic and the paprika. I have the egg wash that got the liquid on it, but the flavor was still there. I added the seasoned breadcrumbs, and now I have 4 of them ready. I want to wait, however, until this is at 375. As you can see here, it's still preheating. When it gets to the point where it's done preheating, it'll beep, and that's when I know to put it in. If you put it in before that time, it won't cook evenly. And you want to cook these for a half an hour. So, as you can see, that took me like 5 minutes to bread them up. After it's warmed up, in 40 minutes, you would have a meal. You add a vegetable to it and you have it. So I have 4 more that I'm going to put in another pan. And for my family, we'll have this one night, and then I'll have leftovers for later in the week. So thank you so much. That's breaded chicken. Enjoy!